Hi everyone, Ryan Ratliff here, fly tying manager and guide at Mad River Outfitters. Today we're going to work on a pattern, and it's kind of a controversial pattern, but it's a very productive pattern. It's called the Squirmy Wormy. So simple tie, but there's a couple tricks that we need to work on. If you don't do them quite right, they will cut the material. So a lot of people have been asking about how to tie this fly, how I actually do it here in the shop when they come in. So I've been doing some demos, so we just decided to do a video on it. So first thing, let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and put in, I like to use the straight jaw on this transformer vise, and I'll show you why here in a second. But the first thing that we need to do is we need to go over the hook. So the hook is going to be a scud style hook. In this instance, it's a 2457 size 12. Then the next is the actual Squirmy Wormy material by Spirit River. Then the final thing is UTC 140 thread. The reason why I go with UTC 140 is UTC 40 is a lot of woven material, or it's a lot of fibers that if I twist it, it can go tight together, or I can untwist it and it lays flat. So with this fly, I want to untwist it and make sure it's flat so that it doesn't slice through. It just lays down and kind of pinches the material that way. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and put the hook in the vise. All right, so the length of the wormy, what I feel is about the right length is about 2¼ inches long. And the way I came about it, it was pretty simple. I just pulled out some material and I measured my jaw length here just to try it out. And I was trying different lengths, so that's what I always do. I measure my jaw length, and the jaw length happens to be 2¼ inches. So we just go ahead and cut off a piece of that. At that length, you can roughly get about 20 worms, 20 flies per package, maybe 22, it just kind of depends per package. So quite a bit. All right, let's get everything started here. Go ahead and start a thread, run a line of thread down the hook shank. This hook, that 2487 or 2457, just depends on your preference. This hook is a scud hook, so you drop back a little bit farther than the hook barb with your thread. At that point, I got a nice base of thread. I'm going to look at it, maybe untwist it just a touch. I can see it go flat, and then I know I'm right where I need it to be. All right, so with the piece that I cut here, you want to line it up right in the middle. So you kind of eyeball that. Right there's the middle. Now this is the tricky part. I'm going to give it 2 loose wraps. Get the right adjustment where I want it to be. Then I'm going to hold it there. I'm going to give 1 more wrap right on top. Each thread wraps right on top of itself. Then I'm going to grab this piece, the front part, I'm going to pull back. There's really no heavy tension on that wormy material at all. These wraps here are the important wraps. I'm actually trying to bind the wormy material between the 2 wraps. So I wrapped over top of the material, then I'm going to fold it back, and then I'm going to put wraps in like this. So it's kind of pinching the material, not actually having tight wraps over top of the material, just pinching it. And that pinch makes it so it doesn't cut. So once I get about 3 wraps in there, I'm going to give 2-3 consecutive wraps forward and repeat the whole process. 1 more wrap. Again, just pretty much bob and weight tension. Pull this back, and this is where I tighten up the wraps. About 3 wraps, come forward a couple times. Eyeball it again. We're going to repeat this as we go up the fly. Again, this fly is real simple. Just the weight of the bobbin there. I'm going to make sure it stays on my side. It wants to twist around the hook. Hold that there. Really quick fly. Once you get it going here, you get used to the right amount of tension that you need to put on everything. Give one extra one tight in there just to kind of keep it up off the eye. If this is real tight to the eye, when I do the whip finish, it's going to catch it and start to wrap it around. Okay, at this point, if I felt safe enough, I could put a little half hitch in there just to kind of keep it situated. But now I'm going to grab my whip finisher. I'm going to come in and whip finish this fly. Alright, so now when I tighten this up, I need to make sure that I'm not pinching that squirmy material. So when I drop it in, if I just cinched my whip finish down real quick, it would catch the edge of this and want to wrap it around. So as you can see, it's all in a line. Everything's nice and even. The tails are about the same length there. I can go ahead and cut my thread off here. So I've got the thread cut off. Now, at this point, it's fine. You can fish it just like this. It's just not super durable. The thread wraps are exposed and all that type of stuff. So what we found out, if you took hard as Hall and put on there, it would melt the material. Then if you took Zap-A-Gap, it would definitely put Zap-A-Gap on there, definitely melt the material, and it would just fall off. So the best thing to use is we go back to the Loon UV finish. And so with this, I take a little bit, I'm just putting this on the exposed thread wraps. Just a couple little dots here, maybe make a little line. And then I'm going to take my bodkin and make sure everything's good. Take my bodkin. Make sure all the thread wraps are shiny. And once they're shiny, the thread actually like sucks the material up around and coats the thread in between each one of the segmentations too. So with that, hit it with the light. Thread color, it's a preference there. All right, so that's the simple way to make a durable and effective squirmy wormy pattern. Sorry. All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.